Hey guys, so really quickly, I wanted to go over an important topic when it comes to determining, how much will your rep PRs actually transfer over to your actual one rep max. And this is going to have to do with something called bar speed velocity drop off. And basically, what I'm looking at here is you have two types of lifters. You have the one person who we kind of all know them. It's like all kind of fast until it's not. Say they have a really, really fast first rep, and then, they might have a pretty fast 1 through 3, and then that fourth rep, pretty much out of nowhere, it's pretty slow, it's pretty grindy, or they might even fail it. The second one is going to be the person who kind of just grinds from the minute that they start doing the rep, and you're like, how the hell are they only going to get 5 more reps? But somehow they're actually able to pretty easily squeeze that out. So this basically has to do with your ratio of type 1 to type 2 muscle fibers and how good you are at making force happen, basically high rate of force production in a very short period of time, because that is essentially the skill of a one rep max. So if you're a type of person who you have a very, very fast bar speed velocity drop off, say if you're doing a set of 5, you're going pretty fast, and then as you get closer to your 5th rep, there's a pretty significant drop in bar speed velocity. You're probably a little bit more of a, you're probably going to be a little bit better at singles than you are at reps, or that actual rep PR is actually going to be a little more closer to what your top end is going to be in terms of an estimated one rep max on that lift. Whereas if you are somebody who really starts off their sets with kind of like pretty slow reps, you can actually see this pretty well here on my squat. I can do a lot more reps than I can do singles, just by how my body's built, proportions, whatever. I tend to have really slow and grindy squats. And I know from experience, when I look at an estimated one rep max calculator, it might say one thing, but I know that's about 5% heavier than what I can actually do. Sorry about that, guys. I'm have a little bit of a cold right now. And so I just know that on my rep PRs, basically above 2 reps is where I start to see this sort of rule of thumb sort of start to be a little more applicable. I find that singles and doubles are sufficiently anaerobic and very similar with skill on the squat and on the bench press, especially to actually your deadlift. To your max. Whereas the deadlift, it's just like people, depending on how it's so dependent on that first rep. You might actually be better at a double than you are at a single, just because you are more better able to feel out your position from the first rep. And so that's sort of how you guys can tell. Looking back at your lifts, because you guys should be filming your lifts, at least your top sets, and looking at your technique, what made that set go well, what did that look like, what was the speed, so then you can sort of, not only accurately gauge your RPE, but be better able to sort of tell, okay, where's my top end at? And this is one of the reasons why, as you get closer to a meet, most of the time you're going to see, more singles, more doubles, just heavier weights, because it's just more indicative to what your actual one rep max is. Now, the last topic I wanted to sort of talk about here is like knowing whether or not singles are a effective tool for you right now, or if they're getting kind of stale. And I'm going to use my example with my deadlift for this. So I like keeping the singles a little bit more frequently on deadlift. However, usually when I will try to get a different rep range is sort of when I'm going into a meet, to sort of get some momentum built and some positive psychology, with feeling like I'm progressing more than I probably actually am, or maybe having some more novelty going into that rep range. So, for example, I know that for myself psychologically, if I get PR sets of whatever, let's say it's a set of 4, I've never done that with a certain RPE. Well, and then I go into like doubles and then a single. I get a lot more excited for that And I tend to find that my singles also go a lot better because I'm better able to build some more momentum in into that meet or into that testing date. I think that singles year round can be a very, very, very useful tool, especially for more advanced athletes and beginners who both need, they both respond well to that higher level of intensity. And, in terms of advanced lifters, they need to sort of keep that top end pretty well trained year round, where beginners can just progress very, very, very fast. Intermediates, I do see a lot more benefit in terms of like the rep range cycling, but even then, there are other ways to incorporate singles into your program than just having that single be the top set. Say after a rep set, you do a lighter single at RPE 5 to 7, and this is something I've been giving my clients a little more often. So it was an idea I got from Eric Helms, and it's kind of been working pretty well. And I've been doing that like with myself. So yeah, hopefully this video was helpful. Obviously current training going over, it's going fine. Kind of clicking back into things. Prep officially starts for me next week, so I'm excited to take you guys through that, and I'll probably have weekly vlogs for you. But until the next one, I'll stay safe and I'll treat each other well.